Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rashmi Sharma, Head of the Department OB and HR, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. Today we will learn the module Evaluating HR Systems. This module is from the paper Contemporary Issues in HRM and Future Trends. The learning outcome from this module are Introduction to the HR Systems. We will learn the techniques for HR system evaluation, evaluation approaches, some examples and how to build in feedback and steps and recommendations in evaluation of HR system. On the completion of this module, the students will be able to understand whether the HR systems meet the business needs of the organization and learn the efficient and cost-effective HR systems and processes. Managing the HR function involves not only putting the processes, procedures and tools into action, it also entails implementing a continuous improvement process. This module would outline methods and tools that the HR manager can use to evaluate the contribution of HR to organizational goals and to evaluate the HR system and processes. The broad areas where HR may be evaluated are: do the HR systems and processes meet the business needs of the organization, whether these are measured by objectives, performance criteria or performance indicators. Second, do HR system processes meet all the legal requirements, industrial awards and workplace agreements? Third, are the HR systems and processes efficient? And fourth, are the HR systems or processes cost effective? There are some common terms that we should understand first. What is evaluation? An overall determination of the success of a program or a strategy is known as evaluation. Goal is a desired result. A goal should be measurable by quantity or quality and has a specific time frame for completion and is always achievable. Objectives are often used to describe an action step within a broader goal or a short-term goal. Performance criteria refers to the standards that have been put for judging how the performance has been achieved. It focuses on the process and not just the results. Performance outcome refers to the outcome or results that are to be achieved from the performance. Quantitative evaluation is the measurement of HR activities using the number or quantities. Qualitative evaluation refers to the measurement of HR activities using judgment or opinion. Let us understand what are the different techniques for HR systems and processes for their evaluation. Audits. Audits are inspections and investigations. Audits can be conducted, for example, to investigate whether HR standards are being met or to evaluate the relationship between the HR function and its clients in the organization. Audits can be used as a planned activity or can be conducted randomly. Benchmarking. A management and evaluation approach allows you to compare the state of your own HR processes against those of other organizations. It is often used to measure the improvement gained from outsourcing. Human Resource Management Information System is a computer system that is required to collect and analyze information to assist in the making of timely HR management decisions. For example, databases, spreadsheets, information networks. Evaluation approaches. The evaluation approach may often be used for HRMIS to collect and analyze the information. The examples are staff turnover reports, absenteeism report, remunerations report, questionnaires that allow quantifiable responses, for example, numeric rating scales, cost benefit analysis of the HR activities, skill testing. Qualitative evaluation allows an organization to measure the HR activities using judgment or opinion. Examples are focus group, record of performance appraisal, questionnaire that allow open-ended responses, for example, to gather information on values or attitudes. Consultative groups. Benchmarking is another evaluation approach that allows you to compare the state of your own HR processes against those of other organizations. Evaluation examples. Evaluation against goals and objectives. Identify the goals and objectives in a strategy and provide a guide for monitoring your progress and as a mean of measuring whether you have achieved what you wanted to achieve. Evaluation against performance outcomes and criteria. A performance outcome states the performance to be achieved, and a performance criteria are nothing but standards for judging how the outcome has been achieved. These focus more at the process aspect. An example of a performance outcome could be conduct a trial of internet recruitment. The criteria for judging this could be trial conditions are defined, a reliable internet recruitment service is used, the website for advertising and contacts is identified, electronic processing of applications via the website is enabled, the procedure for responding to electronic inquiries is defined, and the procedure for processing applications is also defined. Identifying the performance outcomes and the criteria is a way of testing your processes and ability to perform. Another example of a performance outcome for HRM in the industrial relations area is reduced unplanned absenteeism, that is sick leave, by 15%. Some performance criteria for this outcome could be attendance is monitored weekly, sick leave forms are introduced, sick leave forms are completed by employee and personally handed over by the supervisor on the day of return. Audits are inspection and investigations. Audits can be conducted, for example, to investigate whether the HR standards are being met or to evaluate the relationship between the HR function and its clients in the organization. Building feedback into your evaluation methodology is important. Whether you plan for it or not, feedback will always form part of your testing, monitoring and evaluation procedures for your HR system or processes. Feedback can be qualitative or quantitative and can be obtained in many ways, both formally and informally. Ideally, you should set up a reliable information or a feedback network and include that feedback sources such as cooperative employees on the factory or the office floor, union delegates, line managers, employer associations, finance managers, professional organizations, government departments and services, HR consultants and HR networking groups. Now let's have a look at the steps and recommendations in the evaluation of HR systems. Have a strategy and a plan. That's the first step. if you have to evaluate an HR system. If your company does not have a valid strategy for how all the components of its technology infrastructure will fit together, it will make no difference which software is chosen, and odds are that it will not perform adequately. Thus, it is recommended that you designate a team to develop a human capital management strategy if your organization does not have such a strategy. Keep your focus broad when communicating with the top management. Stay away from the voluminous text documents. Use collaborative software to develop your strategy instead of sending the documents through emails. Step number 2 is use the right resources. Assembling the right team is vital. There should be a core team and an extended team and a demo team. Some individuals will be present on all three. The hardest part may be getting the time and commitment from these participants. It is recommended that you include the stakeholders, knowing that most system will also be used by the non-HR staff. Use a temporary service to backfill some of the positions that are held by those who will be needing to work nearly full time on the evaluation. Use the services of a consultant for the areas where assistance is needed the most. Step number 3 is have good requirements. Focus on any significant or unique process that needs to be accommodated in the new system. Interviews lasting a minimum of 1 hour should be done with leaders of each functional area impacted by the system to gather facts. Next, create a requirement document. The requirement should be brief and understandable, and each one should be given a priority. It is recommended that the focus is on the processes in your organization that are unique and not those that can be met by all the vendors. Use collaboration software to create system requirements and keep priorities to a minimum and do not overcomplicate things. Step 4. Focus on the leading edge technology. Focusing on technology that best fit your corporate culture. If you are considering a mobile version of your technology, make sure that everybody understands how it is going to work. Is it a true app or just a duplication of the screen on a mobile device? Many features that work on a big screen can be cumbersome on a smartphone. It is recommended that you understand which newer technologies the system will support. Find out if mobile features are supported via an app. Know which browser versions are supported. Step number 5. Use decision drivers. You do not want to make your decision based only on the vendor's demo. There are many decision drivers, but usually they include one or more of these considerations. Once you choose 3 to 5 key decision drivers, prioritize them usually on the basis of functionality and usability. Recommended that you base your organization's final vendor decision on the decision drivers. Do not rely on the impressions created from the demo. Step number 6. Assess how vendors will fit your requirements. Once the requirements are developed, you will need a method to identify which vendors can meet them. Only those vendors should be invited for the demo. Historically, this is where you should issue an RFP, that is request for proposal, with hundreds of questions for the vendor. It is recommended that you create a brief request for proposal focusing on the unique processing needs. Some vendors may not reply to the RFP, but instead will send you their standard product questions with their answers. Request on a high level system cost. Do not expect specific numbers or interfaces or implementation at this point of time. Score vendor responses over a weighted numerical scale. Step number 7. Control the demo and narrow the selection. By the time you reach this step, each of the vendors that you have asked to conduct a demo should be a good fit for your business. The question is, which is the best fit? It is recommended that you should not expect a vendor to customize the demo to meet company specific criteria, but do assess what tasks can be done. Schedule each vendor demo to last 4 to 7 hours depending on the features that are being evaluated. Schedule a focused follow-up, web demos to dive deeper into a specific area, plan demos back to back and with the same team members to ensure consistency and keep the goals in mind. Now let us understand the HR effectiveness evaluation. How can improvement happen without the right tools to measure the HR effectiveness? As with many other areas of business, this profession also needs to be able to measure the results in terms of transaction management as well as in terms of the positive influence on business. Managing the HR function involves not only putting the processes, procedures and tools into action, but it also entails implementing a continuous improvement process. The broad areas where HR may be evaluated are: do HR systems or processes meet the business needs of the organization? Whether these needs are measured by the objectives, performance criteria or performance indicators? Do HR systems or processes meet all the legal environment and requirements, industrial rewards and awards and workplace agreements? Are the HR systems, processes efficient, and are the HR systems and processes cost effective? Thank you.